If grandma understands your explanation, then everyone else can understand it. What I meant is, if you can strip your message down so that even a non-technical professional, completely outside listener can grasp the essence of your message, then your colleagues, your bosses, and your customers will also get it too. So that's why Jensen Huang can explain really complex GPUs to general audience, and people kind of get it, and they really appreciate the message, and they really want to listen to him. Okay, have you ever sat in a meeting where engineers gave such a perfect technical answer, but everyone else in the room just nodded politely because they had no clue what he meant? I'm sure the answer is yes, right? And that's what today's video is about, passing what I call the grandma test. If grandma understands your explanation, then everyone else can understand it. And now, of course, I don't mean that you literally need to sit down with your grandma and explain wafer detection to her. What I meant is, if you can strip your message down so that even a non-technical professional, completely outside listener can grasp the essence of your message, then your colleagues, your bosses, and your customers will also get it too. So let's break it down. First, when you talk to people on the same level, your teammates, other engineers, you can definitely use technical language. And actually, in fact, they would appreciate it and they are expecting it. But if you're in a mixed room, maybe engineers, sales, HR, managers, all together, you need to switch gears, and simple words beats jargon. Jargon means technical language, technical terms. Otherwise, you will lose half of the room. That's just common sense. And when you are with a customer or a completely non-technical audience, and that's where the grandma test kicks in. If you stay in engineer mode, you will confuse them, frustrate them, even worse, make them tune out, completely lost, and that hours you spend in your presentation to prepare for the audience to impress them, waste of time. So I had a student once who was brilliant in chip design, but when the CFO asked him about why the design mattered, he gave a 5-minute monologue about transistor density. And guess what? The CFO didn't really care about transistor density. He cared about the cost savings. And that's why this shift is so important. So how do we actually do it? Here's a checklist I use with my students. It's a very simple common sense checklist. Okay, so here, the first step is audience check. And who's in the room? Is it tech, mixed, or non-tech personnel? Don't waste your time explaining resistors to your VP. I'm sure that we don't have time for that. And some people might say, hey, my VP actually cares about those technical things. Good. I'm not arguing that you shouldn't do it if they really want that information. I'm arguing that you need to provide appropriate information to appropriate audience. Okay, and step number 2, replace jargon with simple nouns. So instead of software module, you can say computer programs. So most people understand that, but software modules might be a little dense for people without the technical background. And I'm not saying that if you understand the module, perfect, but use simple terms to help the audience understand. So that's why Jensen Huang can explain really complex GPUs to general audience, and people kind of get it, and they really appreciate the message, and they really want to listen to him. So that's the difference between having a true engineer explaining the technical complexity of a product, and when Jensen Huang does it, and everyone just feel like, wow, I actually want to listen to that for 2 hours. And finally, end with the benefit: faster, safer, cheaper. Okay, just pick one. That's what people remember. And one student actually told me after 2 weeks of practicing this, and his boss, actually also my student, told me privately, wow, now I finally understand what he is doing. And that's the power of this checklist. So here's a practical tool you can use every time. I call this a simplified framework, or TPB framework. So TPB stands for Tech Brain. First, technically, it does X or solves Y. That keeps things accurate. Then you switch to your plain brain. So in simple terms, short phrase, it makes it digestible, makes it easy to understand. It's not intimidating. And finally, you need to build a bridge. So that means why it matters, talk about the benefit, and that's the part that makes people care about what you want to say. So if you only give tech brain message, you sound smart, but you will lose the people. And if you only give the plain brain, you sound nice, but you will lose the credibility and the bridge which will tie everything together. So imagine a colleague from another department asks, what does this wafer detection tool do? And the pure technical response, you might get something like this. It performs parallelized wafer image clustering in distributed nodes to detect abnormal patterns. So I don't even know what that means, and it's so hard to pronounce those words. I actually practiced this several times to kind of, get it close to right. I'm sure that I don't sound very professional about this because I don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay, but anyhow, and now let's try the simplified framework. So the tech brain, you say, technically, it scans wafer images and flags abnormal patterns. Okay, so that's just a simple tech explanation. And then you switch to plain brain. In simple terms, it's like automated inspectors with a microscope. Easy to understand now. And then you talk about the benefit, that's the bridge. So that means defects are caught earlier, so EO loss is reduced. Notice the difference. You're not dumbing it down. You're actually translating expertise into impact. And common pitfalls to avoid. First one, oversimplifying. Sounds childish. Saying like it's magic. That's too vague, no credibility. You sound like a kid. Okay? And number two, too technical even when simplifying. It's like a neural network with distributed clustering. Yeah, still a jargon, so it doesn't really help. Okay, so when you think that you try to dumb it down, but you're still using technical analogy, then I don't know. We need to really train ourselves on that part because like I said, that's the hardest part. And number three, mixing tech and analogy without bridge. If you say it's a clustering algorithm like a sorting machine, people don't know which one to believe. Like it's still pretty fuzzy. Like I don't really understand what that means. Okay, so coming from a non-technical background, like I really would get lost. And number four, explaining process, not the outcome. And this is a very, very common problem. Okay, so we often forget to talk about the impact, talk about the outcome, talk about the consequences. We restructure the backend, optimize memory. Okay, but what's the point? Always end with the outcome, end with the benefit, end with the impact. So people can see the value of your action.